Good morning. It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator. So if this is your first time joining me and you're joining me on YouTube, make sure that you do subscribe. And if you're on my Facebook, make sure that you also, and on YouTube, make sure you give me the thumbs up, share my video through your Facebook, or share it also to your friends because it might be something that they're interested in. So welcome to Saturday, and it's Card Sketch Saturday, and this is where I share a card sketch each and every week. Well, almost each and every week. It just depends on circumstances, but where I share a card sketch each and every month or each and every week. Oh my goodness. And I hope that I inspire you to create cards on your own. Sometimes card sketches are a great place to start. And this is no different. What I'm doing is I'm actually using, and I'm going to just pop right on down. Good morning. To my desktop. I am using Artfully Composed again. And the reason I am showing this is because I want to show you how beautiful cards can be using this Artfully Composed Designer Series paper and, well, actually the whole suite. As some of you know, I am putting on an international stamp camp for people around the world. Actually, well, I guess in the UK, Australia, the US, and in Canada. I can only help support the ones that are in Canada, but when it comes to anybody being around the world, I can send you in a direction. So for the cost of purchasing the suite from me or from a demonstrator that is involved in this international stamp camp, you can and you will get 12 make and takes. Plus, you will also get the access to a private Facebook group where you'll get an additional 12 more projects using this suite. It really is a beautiful suite. This paper is to die for. And so I don't know. I just think this is one of the most wonderful things. So if you are interested in this, reach out to me. If you're not from Canada, reach out to me and I can send you in a direction for somebody that is doing it. So Card Sketch Saturday. Here we go. Number 87. When I have now decided that what I'm going to do, if I do not do my sketch on a Saturday because I have previous engagements, I'm going to move it to the Sunday, which will be next week because that's our virtual catalog launch. So I hope that if you are a customer of mine or if you don't have a demonstrator in Canada, I would love for you to come. I do have the make and takes ready for the people that are here in the local area. The ones that have already signed up for the make and takes, theirs have already been, that are out of town have already been sent to them. So this is the card sketch. I have it with a regular card base. I usually always go with a regular card base unless I do a slimline card. So I don't know if you can really see this, but this is level 3 or layer 3. And that's 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then we have this layer that's just, I think, no, 1 3/8 by 5 1/4, and then 1 1/4. So I'll actually explain that as I go along. So I've come in, and what I've done is I have all my cardstock cut, and we'll go from there. All right, so this is a piece of thick basic white. Always when I do a card base, I use the thick basic white. It just gives more, it's a sturdier card base. If you use the regular basic white, it may flip and it might flop. And really, it's beautiful to have this kind of a thickness on the card base. So it's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. We're going to fold into the mountain. And I'm going to come in with my bone folder. And get a good crisp fold there. Now this layer 2 happens to be 4 by 5 1/4. And I've used, like I say, this piece of the designer series paper. Now I could have used any of this designer series paper. It would have made great for this. But I really like this particular design. I'm really stuck on this design. I think it's because of all the greens that are in it. So I'm just going to go in and I think I'll use my multi-purpose glue just for the fact that I have wiggle room, and I'm probably thinking, oh no, we still have some in here. It's onto its last legs. I do know that. So, all right, let's see. I didn't prime this one, so there we go. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that on. Now, I would say that there's a right and a wrong way. It's a directional type print. So I'm making sure that my evening evergreen leaves go up. And you can see I can move this around just a bit so that I can make sure that it's nice and even. So then I cut a piece of evening evergreen. And this one, like I say, happens to be 1 3/8 by 5 1/4. And it's going to come down right about there. So again, I'm not putting any height to this sort of this layer, and I better just get rid of that. Any height to that layer because I'm going to be doing it with the tag that I'm putting on there. Right, so let's go ahead and put this on. And I don't think it matters the exact distance from there. It's kind of what's going to work for your pattern paper, or you don't even have to use pattern paper. You could do just straight paper. You could do embossing on there. It'd be really nice. Now, layer number 4 happens to be, or layer number 3. So 1, 2, and this is 3, is a piece of the Designer Series paper from this pack. It has writing on it. So we want to make sure that that writing goes the right way. And this one happens to be 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going straight up to the top. Well, I must have cut this one a little bit shorter. The sketch says 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. This one I believe is 1 1/4 by 5 1/8. But that'll work too. You know, I didn't realize how gorgeous this paper really was until I started really working with it. Okay, so there's a right and a wrong way. I don't think you're going to notice, but I think I've got it going the right way. So I just have a layer right there. Don't forget that what you can do is you can go ahead and go in with the sketch challenge. And you know what? I think I've got that a little on crooked. You can enter into the sketch challenge. If you live in Canada, I can give away, I do 2 draws a month. One is for the mystery challenge, one is for the sketch challenge. But if you live outside of Canada, I can send you cards, which I happen to do this particular month. You know, this is beautiful. All right, so I do have a piece of, this is my 4th layer, and this is 2 by 3 7/8, which I cut out with the tailored tags, and it's going to go just there, but we're not going to put that on yet. You notice in this sketch, I've got circles, and a lot of times when I put circles onto a card sketch, and if I write the word on there, it's an image that we're actually doing. So I went ahead with the dies and I cut out, where are my dies? And I went and I cut out this guy, and I believe, I cut out 2 of these. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that behind. So this is the mint macaron. And like I say, when I'm doing things with fronds or leaves, something that I want there to be some movement and that sort of stuff, I don't use the adhesive sheets. The adhesive sheets would be great to use with this if you want them to go flat down and no dimension on the way up. But I want this to kind of be free moving, so it gives a bit more dimension on there. Hello. All right, so this is going to go here. Now I want to put something for this image right here. So I think I'm going to use this guy here. Now, this one is, when you actually punch this one out, or when you cut it out, what you do is you can actually keep those layers in there. I've got it here, I think. Yes. So if you didn't want that open of a look and you wanted your leaf to be like this, all I did was I turned around and I just put some tear and tape onto the back so that those pieces stay in there. So that's just a little hint and a tip with that. All right, so again, I want free movement with my leaves. There we go. I'm going to see where this goes again so that I think I'll do it where it's kind of coming up like that. There we go. Now, I am going to go ahead and put this piece on here, and I'm also going to do, oh my goodness, I did find it. I'm going to put it on with dimensionals, but there's a few things that I want to do first with the tag. We also have this, which is another image here, and that's going to go on here. But what I want to do is I want to stamp a sentiment, and I want the sentiment to go onto the bottom here. So I've used mint macaron. Now, how I made this was I just had a strip of the mint macaron, and on these dies, it has a great thing here, and I just cut it across there, and I've got a couple of them actually that I can use. So I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to come in with my evening evergreen, and I think we're going to just do a thank you on this particular one. So I think the evening evergreen would be the best. So I'm just going to put that back in there so that I don't lose it. Just to also show you, this part here cuts out these little heart-shaped leaves. But there's another couple of dies here that are like thatch type things. And they don't cut, but they do an impression on it. And it looks really cool. I actually had originally done that on this particular tag. But I just thought it was a little too much on there. So I'm sure my thank you, no, that's hay there. I'm sure my thank you will fit. We'll check it out though. Ooh, maybe it won't. You know what? I'll stamp it on the opposite side and we'll give it a try. If not, I'll have to do the hay there. Nice. I'm so glad you guys have joined me. And I'd love to see your what you've done. I think it would be great to see how you've interpreted this particular. Let's just see. Oh, it looks like it's going to fit. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's see how. All right. Like I say, we're just keeping. Oop, it worked. Sometimes we get lucky, right? All right, so this part is just going to go down here. And now this is where I'm going to start adding some dimension to it. So I've got my dimensionals. Let's go ahead and put those on there. Yeah, these tags are amazing. A definite staple in your crafting supplies, that's for sure. So that's just going to go there. And then I'm going to turn around and I know what was here. I'm going to put this is going to go on here. So I'm going to put this about there. So I know roughly where to put the glue. And also this one's a different level. So again, that's the reason why I'm not putting the adhesive stuff on here. I'm going to come in with my silicone mat, I think, just in case I get a little bit of glue onto the back. There we go. Oh, I really wanted that to be on there a little bit more. Wonder if I'm going to get away with the glue being on there. Well, I'm going to stick it in such a spot. What I'm going to do is I'm just taking my embossing buddy in there. I'm just going to de-stick that, and then I'm just going in with a glue eraser. And you can use any kind of an eraser here. I just happen to have one of these. There we go. All right. Okay, now we also want to make sure that we put something in the tag, right? So I could have used that really pretty open weave. I want to bring in this pale papaya in there, but I think I'm going to use this particular one. And this is a linen type thing. It's pale papaya and white, and it's called a woven ribbon. So I'm just going to go in there, and I'm just going to stick that in there. Now, also what comes with this suite is it's this frayed white ribbon. But I found that it's just a little too wide for this, but this is really neat ribbon because it frays and it does some pretty neat things. So I've got that like that. And then I'm going to come in with my linen twine or linen thread, and I'm just going to tie this here. No, I think I'm going to have an idea what I think I might do here. So I'm just going to tie that into a knot. So we've got a good tight base. It's on the tail end of this roll, so it tends to be quite curly. So I'm just going to take that off about like there, I think. Yes, this is such a pretty bundle. Actually, I have to tell you, this was one of the first ones I picked out from the catalog. This one really intrigued me. There's 3 that really intrigued me. Our second stamp camp is going to be with it's the Crane of Fortunes. It's, oh, what's it called? That's going to be our stamp camp in April, I believe. And the other one is that seashore one. I just love that one. All right, so come back in with my ribbon scissors. Now, if I, whoops, that wasn't very bright. Here, I'll just do this like that. Now, if you wanted to, you could turn around and just fray this up a little bit. So I'm kind of into a vintagey sort of, and I'm just going to fray this as well. You know what? It's going to end up getting frayed anyways, so why not let it go that way, right? All right, so let's finish up this card. So this is just going to go like this. I could have actually put that green across there a little bit more, but I think by the time I put the embellishments on here, it's going to just work out quite okay. Oh, thank you. Carol, that's very nice. All right, so just going to take this. I do love to create, I must say. So let's get this like this. Now, what also goes along with this particular suite are these faux sea glass shapes. And you know what? I'm going to use this. Now, mine looks like it's all helter-skelter. And the reason being for that was it did get squished in my box when it came. I didn't worry too much about it. I could have phoned Stampin' Up to have the replacement on it. But you know what? I can work with it, so it's all good. If it was for a customer, I definitely would redo it. So I think I'm going to use these green ones. And they're small, so I think I'm probably going to have to use maybe 5, which is an uneven number, right? But let's see. I'm wondering if the blue ones would look. You know what? I could get away with doing blue on there too. So I'm going to put 3. I just think they need that much more because they're so small. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can put 1 down here. And then we've kind of got our look with that. So let me just put this one back on here. Put put that away before they all fall out. So there we go. There's our card sketch. So there. Now, some people have also asked me, oh, is it okay to case my cards? You bet. You're also doing as a sketch. Yeah, I have no problems. If I was opposed to doing any casing, I wouldn't be going on live. You know what I mean? It's something that if it's there, it's out there on the internet. It's okay to be cased. That's my feeling on that. So we shall see what other people think. But to me, yes, of course, it's okay to case my cards. But try it with the sketch. Try doing something yourself with the sketch. And I think you might be quite surprised at how easy you can put together your own cards. And that's the whole purpose of me doing card sketches every Saturday. Oh, I know, Marjorie. Beautiful stamp set. Yeah, because you're going to the stamp camp. You're a little hesitant probably with what, especially the DSP. You could play with the stamps and the dies, but definitely the DSP, because we've used lots of DSP in our make and takes. All right, so don't forget to put this onto my group. Go hashtag card sketch 87, and then you're entered into a draw at the end of the month. Probably the beginning of February is more where I kind of fall into. And I love giving stuff away. So enter yourself. I ordered a bunch of some new stamp sets for the ones that I'm giving away, and then of course I've got my cards. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Bye for now.